Alright, before you watch the video, I spoil some parts of the manga, and if you don't want to hear me spoil the manga, I suggest you should read it before you watch this video. I don't spoil the important parts of the story, I just mention some minor things that are in the video. Now is a great time to get into Chainsaw Man if you're new to it. You can pay for a subscription on Viz, they provide the manga there. Or, if you're a cheap bastard like me, you can just search for sites that provide the manga for free. However, I don't endorse it, it's just an option. I suggest you guys buying the volumes on Amazon or your local Barnes & Noble to support the creator. Oh, and for some reason, whenever I record my voice, I seem to be very inconsistent. It's probably my fault, because I have no idea how to fucking record myself better. I really suck when it comes to just talking to the mic, so you're gonna either hear me very low, or you're gonna hear me very high. And that's it. Okay, thanks, bye.
Hello guys and gals, me Josh here.
I love Chainsaw Man. What can I say about the critically acclaimed manga of Chainsaw Man that hasn't already been said, discussed, or talked about by others at this point? Starting its early run on December 18th, 2018, and ending in the middle of 2020, the series manga artist Tatsuki Fujimoto has touched many of the audience's hearts with this intriguing story about a boy and his dog struggling to live and survive in this hectic, cruel world full of devils. But I'm getting ahead of myself. If you're expecting that I'll give you another video essay about why you should love this series, then you're totally wrong, because I'll be explaining in 1080p 4K resolution the reasons why I fell in love with Chainsaw Man. But before we get to the good parts, let me talk about the creator. Tatsuki Fujimoto. One of the few reasons why I love Chainsaw Man is the creator himself. He's one of my favorite manga artists. Tatsuki Fujimoto is also known for making Fire Punch and 9 other one-shots of short manga stories. His unique way of storytelling is what intrigues me to get into some of his past works. A great example of this would be his first one-shot he published on Shonen Jump at the age of 17, and it's called Niwa 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 Niwatori ga Ita, or, as it's translated, There are 2 chickens in the garden. The title itself is a well-known Japanese tongue twister. The full tongue twister translates to, there are 2 chickens in the front garden and 2 in the back. And in the final panel of the one-shot, it translates to that there were 2 chickens in the garden. And what I find fascinating about this particular one-shot is the twist at the end. But before we get into the twist, we have to start in the beginning. We start off in a normal day, and we see an average life of a high school student. Oh my, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's an alien guy. Oh, it's an alien MILF. Oh, what the Our story starts off with these cool alien dudes going to school. It seems that aliens have taken over Earth and have destroyed humanity. As the story progresses, it's explained that the school has a chicken farm in the back. However, these aren't any normal chickens. It's just normal humans disguised as chickens because the aliens don't like to eat them. While it's fine for aliens eating humans, they see chickens as pets, as compared to our counterparts in the real world, where we see dogs as pets. The irony in what we see here is that the chickens are food to the humans, while humans are food to the aliens. Eventually, we see an alien discovered that the chickens were disguised as humans, but doesn't eat them at first. It seems that this alien was trying to warn them about another alien, the bad one, coming to this high school that's known for being really hungry regardless if it's a chicken. All of a sudden, that same alien, the bad one, came and began to charge at the farm, ready to devour the humans. Then this happens. Despite their best efforts to prevent the alien from eating, it wasn't enough. In a desperate attempt to save those 2 humans, the alien transforms to knock out the bad alien and tries to escape. Unfortunately, they didn't get that far, as they are stopped by a police alien that towered over them. It seems to be all over until this happens. We get a flashback about 6 months ago, where the aliens were invading Earth, and devouring the humans. We then see the little girl from before, Ami, witnessing her classmates die in front of her by an alien. Ami begins to retaliate, asking the alien, "Why? We were just practicing for a play, and you killed everyone. Why did you eat us?" Ami asked. The alien responds back, "Huh? Well, you humans kill and eat pigs and cattle. It's no different, right? So with that logic, you wouldn't mind being eaten then." A moment of silence. As the alien waits for an answer, Ami hesitates, responding with, "I don't know." After her response, she gets knocked out by the alien. The alien stares at the unconscious girl, wondering to himself. A scenario of what it felt like in her position. And so he puts on a disguise, wearing the chicken hat, now calling himself Yuto. As time went on, they got along together at the back of the school, disguised as chickens as the aliens feed them corn. It was at this moment that the alien realized he had to protect Ami. He blocks the punch from the police alien, protecting Ami. With his chicken hat gone, he reveals his true identity, saying, "I was planning to eat you once you'd grown up and become tastier, but I've decided I'm going to eat you right now." As he says this, Ami then remembers 6 months ago, the same alien killing off her classmates right in front of her. She begins to cry and runs away. Seeing this, the alien then monologues about how Ami safely escaped to the mountains, successfully united with the remaining survivors. However, with no way for the humans to defeat the aliens, humanity stayed in ruin for a while. But I want them to remember that not long before humanity went into ruin, there was a story about a human and an alien living together. Saying this, he transforms, facing the police alien, ready to fight, as the last page says that there were 2 chickens in the garden. This part to me is what I think makes Fujimoto's stories unique, because there's this feeling of dread in his stories, while at the same time, when you continue reading throughout it, you feel oddly satisfied at the end. Although this may have not been the best example of Fujimoto's works, I think it gives a small glimpse of what he could tell in his stories, in which case, I'll be getting to right about now. The world of Chainsaw Man is uniquely complex, but simple to follow. All devils are born in hell. They manifest themselves in the real world through people's collective consciousness of fear surrounding their name. A good example of this would be if someone is afraid of bugs, specifically if they are afraid of spiders. And I know spiders aren't bugs, they're arachnids, okay? I know, I'm just too lazy to... Then a spider devil will coexist. Devils live by fear. So long as fear is surrounded by their name, they become more powerful as a result. If powerful enough, they can take the form of a human. This will ultimately lead to an organization group being formed to be the Devil Hunters. These Devil Hunters work together in groups. Their job is to exterminate any devils assigned to their mission. Devil Hunters can get help from other devils in the form of a contract. A contract is an ability both few devils and Devil Hunters, including civvies, can make. If one party honors the contract, the other party has to honor that too. Otherwise, if one party ends up breaking that promise of the deal, they'll ultimately die. Devil Hunters use these contracts to have devils act as their arsenal when in battle. They also use weapons ranging from normal firearms or cursed weapons. During the story of Chainsaw Man, it's shown that there are different types of devils with different abilities and power levels. These include Devil Fiends, Devil Hybrids, and Primal Devils. Devil Fiends are devils that take over human corpses. They can be distinguished by the shapes of their heads. Their personality can be the same as that of the corpse, if the brain isn't damaged. Fiends are less powerful than their devil counterparts, and are able to use toned-down versions of their respective supernatural abilities. Fiends can regenerate from drinking blood, but can die if fatally wounded. They are also unable to perform contracts unlike primal devils and humans. Hybrids in rare cases can fuse with humans. They have a human conscience and appearance, but can transform into a human devil hybrid and manifest the supernatural abilities of the fused devil. They're able to transform into their hybrid forms by a bodily trigger. Their regenerative abilities are limitless and can revive by consuming a significant amount of blood. The Primal Devils is a variant of a normal devil. They possess names that embodies fear found naturally within the human psyche. They are shown to be immensely powerful and frighten normal devils and fiends, including those who are previously unaware of their existence. And that's basically it. With that said, the world building is very intricate, but easy to follow as it goes on later in the story. The establishment of how devils work and how devil hunters operate together is one of the most creative things I've ever seen. It's pretty straightforward, and that's what I like about it. Sure, you can make the argument where there might be some loose ends when describing these types of devils. However, I would likely disagree. The information given to us in the stories about these types of devils is the right amount and doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's better to have these loose ends shrouded in mystery. It adds this mysterious element when looking into the history of the devils. The thought of there being existing devils that are unknown because they're so obscure leads to many questions on what kind of primal devils we would see and how their supernatural powers function. Would there be phobia devils? Cosmic devils? Coffee devils?
Hey, does anybody want coffee? Who wants coffee? I just made a fresh pot of coffee. Does anybody want coffee? Who wants coffee? Does anybody want coffee? Who wants coffee? What is going on, man? You want coffee? I just made coffee. Does anybody want coffee? Who wants it? You want coffee?
Jokes aside, we still have yet to see how these concepts of devils will unfold in the next arc of Chainsaw Man, as we don't necessarily know the history of what these devils could do. The story later provides that Pochita is the most feared devil within the story of Chainsaw Man. Pochita is the Chainsaw Devil, feared by most devils by its berserk strength with the addition of its animalistic behavior. It exhibits a more erratic personality when changed into its true form, and how no devil can comprehend the insanity of the Chainsaw Devil. If the Chainsaw Devil is defeated in battle, it will come back once more. It also possesses another unique ability of erasing devils and their names out of existence by consuming them. The history of the Chainsaw Devil is still shrouded in mystery, as we don't know how this came to be. As it turns out, we only get to hear this from a character named Makima, head of the Tokyo Special Division of Devil Hunters. I'll get into her character role later, as I will now talk about the characters.
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?
The entire cast of Chainsaw Man has one of the most intriguing and intricate characters I've had the pleasure of seeing. One of these characters that I enjoyed the most would be Denji. He's portrayed to be both brash and naive due to living in poverty. While his personality comes off as harsh and rude in an almost childish way, he has a good sense of empathy towards other people, willing to save those in danger. Denji's not the sharpest tool in the shed. However, he's capable to think of clever ideas to take down devils, such as lighting himself on fire and using the light emitted to weakening spoiler, or how he tries to find out how to properly use his powers in the spoiler arc with the help of his companion Beam, and ends up doing this. Fucking genius! When it comes down to Denji, he's one of the more complex characters in the series. We see him talk about the things that he wants to do to his pet dog, Pochita. They both have an intimate relationship and care for one another. While Pochita's a devil itself, it has grown affectionate towards Denji. We get a backstory on how Pochita and Denji met for the first time. We get to see a young Denji staring at the gravestone of his father. The Yakuza member threatens Denji to give him back the amount of money that he owes him and leaves in the distance. We then get to see the reveal of Pochita scaring Denji. At first, Denji was willing to die, as it seems to be already over for him. However, it doesn't. It's shown that Pochita is badly injured. While this is happening, Denji was reminded by an awful memory. He later then offered his arm to Pochita, telling him to drink his blood if he doesn't want to die, and that it comes with a contract, with the promise of helping each other out. It's always a cool thing to see a duo like this. As you can say, Pochita is truly a man's best friend. It's honestly really wholesome. All the characters are amazing. Aki Hayakawa is a devil hunter. He's the more serious type around his companions. There we get to see him and Denji getting along with each other. Yeah, look at that. Look how well they're getting along. Yeah, this is how you usually greet your employees like this. Man, that's priceless. Aki seeks revenge for the death of his family that were killed by the spoiler. Both of their motivations clash with each other. While Aki views Denji as a brat, while on the other hand, Denji views Aki as a nuisance. Oh, don't worry. They become great pals at the end. Power. Power's erratic demeanor made her a favorite among the community. And well deserved because she's hilarious. She's a pathical liar, a show-off, a racist. She'll drink your blood on the sly. She loves to kill bugs, and she's cute. What more do you want from a woman? I mean, what do you want? Okay, fuck, get out of here. Okay? Fuck. Whenever she's on panel, it's very entertaining to see how well she acts with the cast. She'll insult them. She'll inconveniently make terrible mistakes, while unironically saving her colleagues at the end. While only having a close relationship to her cat, they later develop a strong bond with Aki and Denji. Overall, both of them make a good trio, as they have some good chemistry together. The supporting cast have their moments as well. Take for instance Kobeni, a rookie that never seems to catch herself a break from unlucky situations. It's pretty hilarious to see the absurd things that happen to her. It's great. All of the side characters have something to do, and aren't just throwaways for the story. Which is kind of ironic. They shine in the spotlight when given the chance, and having not being bored when reading and learning their personalities is a breath of fresh air. Oh yeah, and there's Makima.
Before we attack each other and tear ourselves to shreds like a pack of maniacs, let's just open the sack first and see what's actually in it. It might not even be worth the trouble.
Hi.
Okay, it's worth it.
She has her own assets that make her stand out in the cast that's fully justified. Everyone seems to like her a lot. I can understand why this is the case. Without spoiling anything, she's the most essential part of the plot in Chainsaw Man, that she gives off this dominant presence. Hell, she's the most popular character in the series, placing in second place. I honestly couldn't believe it. I guess the majority of the community likes her that much. Overall, all the characters in the series are excellent. I don't want to give away too much because obviously I'll be spoiling everything and I don't want to do that. Moving on. Originally, I wanted to explain why I fell in love with the series. In this case, I pretty much did just that. However, I wanted to go in depth to explain the things that happened in the story that made me fall in love in the first place. While making this video and writing the script, I remembered something that stood out to me in the back of my mind. Why did I love Chainsaw Man so much? It's not like this has already happened to me when I first read or watched something this good as when I read other mangas and a bunch of nerd shit that the majority of the people don't care about. However, this was different to me. I adore this series so much that I went on my way to purchase the first volume and started to get following volumes afterwards. I made fan art, a lot of fan art. I made ideas, I made videos.
Oh, yo, let's go. Holy shit, it looks so good. What the fuck? Holy shit.
And I've also made memes. I made a remake of the first chapter of Chainsaw Man and spent 3 months trying my best to recreate the first chapter in my style. I would sometimes do this over the day and mostly at night. I made a video about the process. Back then when the subreddit was still small, I was seeing posts of people's reactions to moments in the series that stood out to them. Others make memes and fan art. I loved every single second of it. This series has helped me personally that I didn't think was possible. I have laughed, cried, I felt almost every emotion. When I first heard about Chainsaw Man, I would go on a couple of sites that provided advanced translations. Seeing Denji swearing and saying fuck was great. My whole experience with Chainsaw Man was something special. When I wanted to read Chainsaw Man for the first time, I had no expectations whatsoever. I thought it was gonna be somewhat of a fun story about a dude having Chainsaw Man powers. Boy, was I wrong. Because it's more than just a dude having Chainsaw Man powers. There's philosophies, metaphors, deep character breakdowns, and shocking character deaths. All this meat compressed into this one manga about a dude having Chainsaw Man powers. After finishing the manga, I was fulfilled in what I've read. I've never felt this satisfied when I read a story or when I watch a movie. The whole manga was a movie, full to the brim of action, funny dialogue, character development, and well-designed art. And with that said, I won't spoil anything. Tatsuki Fujimoto's greatest strength in his writing is the element of surprise. And if I were to spoil those special moments, it wouldn't leave that great impact that you were anticipating. If you were to ask me if Chainsaw Man is something that's worth reading, it'll defeat the purpose of the whole video. I'm explaining why I love Chainsaw Man, not why you should love it. If you think it's worth reading, then by all means go ahead and read the manga or wait for the anime. I'm anticipating for the anime to come, and I know it's gonna be a blast. I'm planning to buy the Blu-rays and DVD when the time comes. And with that said, I would love to end on a quote of Tatsuki Fujimoto's comment on the final chapter of Chainsaw Man. See ya!
Sakae yo, sasae yo, tatae yo, Fujimoto. Sakae yo, sasae yo, tatae yo, Fujimoto. Ah, tenno, 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 tenno.